Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
We're so thrilled to have on the show an incredible country music singer, songwriter, guitarist. She does it all. You've probably seen her on multiple TV shows, but now we have her on ours. Annie Bosko, thanks for coming on, Annie.
Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
You know, we got to talk about this new EP that you came out with, your own self-titled one. And listening to this, you know, once again on the music, Neon Baby has been huge. I mean, how many listeners and fans do you have on that song now?
You know, it continues to grow. And I think that's really the biggest thing that an artist can ask for, is that it continues to grow, new people continue to find it, and I'm finding that every day that's happening.
Well, and I mean, listening to the tracks also, and I know everybody's going to want to add this entire album to their playlist, but it's like, I love Boots On and also Honky Tonk Highway.
Thanks.
Although I probably shouldn't have Honky Tonk Highway on in the car.
Yeah.
It's not one of the, you know, you just know you're going to drive fast with that.
Yeah, you don't want to speed. It's just going to automatically make you speed. Yeah, just drive extra slow listening to it.
But it really feels like, you know, this EP is kind of a breakout for you.
Yeah.
And you know, with what you've done in the past and certainly your influences, I feel like you're everywhere right now. I mean, from all of the places that you've sang the national anthem and the Star Spangled Banner, Madison Square Garden. I mean, it's like Annie Bosko's there. You're even on billboards in Nashville now.
I know, it's a thrill. Minus me living out of 4 suitcases right now, it's amazing. And it's so fun. I feel like right now there's so many exciting things happening, and you just want to strike while the iron's hot, you know, while you have these opportunities, because as an artist, you don't always get those, you know, and I've been through like the ups and downs. And so right now there's just so many awesome things happening, and I'm taking advantage of every opportunity, and I don't take anything for granted, including being here in Nashville. Just so exciting.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, and you've toured with Tim McGraw, Dierks, Bentley, and a lot of people may not know of your songwriting to where you've had, you know, Willie Nelson and Jessica Simpson record your songs.
You really did your homework.
Well, I mean, my thought, Annie, was once again, with a great EP like this, how do you decide, you know, because you've got such an incredible and full voice, how do you decide which songs to keep for you?
I think having a team really helps now. Look, if it was up to my own decision making, I mean, as an artist, that's the most difficult thing, right? Is when you're trying to make all these decisions on your own. But now I'm really fortunate to have an amazing team. So it's like we can make these decisions together, and you know, especially choosing singles. It's like, gosh, I love them all. I couldn't decide, but when you have people helping you make that decision, it gives you more confidence.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and that was the thing too with Neon Baby. I definitely felt like a 90s vibe country, but also you kept it fresh.
Thank you.
You know, and I think that's why, don't you think that's why listeners and fans are really grabbing a hold of that song?
Yeah, I think that was really an amazing era of country music. I'm a 90s baby. It's what made me want to do this in the first place.
Right.
And I think that making something that truly felt and sounded country, from the lyrics to steel guitar to, you know, everything, we were intentional about really wanting to make this project, and that song in particular has a little bit of a throwback feel. But to me, it also has like the modern edge to it, to where it still feels like it's today.
Right.
But I'm giving a nod to the people that inspired me to do this in the first place.
Well, and that's what I was thinking too when I was listening to it this morning, even to where it would really lend itself to TV and film also.
That's cool. Yeah, we hope so. That'd be great.
Just food for thought. Well, I wanted to bring up also, you know, last year, certainly, you know, you being from, you know, Los Angeles originally, you know, California, your dad a farmer, country girl, and everything. But
north of Los Angeles.
Yeah, exactly.
Not from
Thank
LA.
You. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But with Dandelions that you came out with from Covenant, and it's such a heartfelt song that you came out with last year.
Yeah.
And I know that really reached and helped a lot of people when you came out with that.
I think there's sometimes you write songs, other times songs write themselves, and you're just kind of in the room that day. And so I think that was one of those songs that we were there, you know, and we kind of came from a bigger place. And I think when that happens, you feel that it's your calling, you know, to help people with this. And so I ended up singing at the Scruggs family home the night of Hallie's funeral. Her dad's the pastor at Covenant, and I had like a group of 10 little kids around me singing it, saying, "Sing Hallie's song again." And people will ask, "Well, what's the coolest thing you've ever done?" And of course, the big shows like opening for Tim McGraw or playing on big TV shows is so huge. But also as an artist, it's those performances, it's those moments that that really give you the gratitude, you know, and that inner feeling of, okay, like this is really what God called me to do. And it's to use music to move people who need it the most. And so that was definitely, you know, one of those moments.
Yeah, just a great heartfelt song. And I know that so many people here in the Nashville area have latched onto that.
Yeah.
You know, but also to be able to do that and give back, you know, because it's like, you know, you're like a Nashvilleian now.
Yeah, 17 years.
I think that counts.
It does. Right? Yeah, I've spent more of my life here than anywhere else. So.
You know, I think you're gonna have to do more holiday songs too, because you know, once again, going through all the songs, I was listening "Cowboy for Christmas." Yeah. It's like, you're gonna have to do a Christmas album at some point, right?
I'd love to. I love Christmas music. I could listen to it year round. I know everyone's like, when can you start? And for me, I'm like, August. I mean, all year round.
You just have to decorate the studio to get in the mood, right?
You do. And actually, I've been in people's studios when they've done that. Like in August, they'll have Christmas decor everywhere and Christmas trees, and that's why, yeah.
Well, you know, I wanted to bring up for our viewers and some people that may not know, but it's like, you started singing at only 5 years old.
Yeah.
Started writing songs already as a teenager. And then how this has evolved, because obviously you're a fan of classic traditional country, but also the Beatles.
Yeah.
And you know, in listening to these songs, as we were talking earlier with your new EP, to where the instrument, where did you record this at?
The EP?
Yes.
We did the band tracking at Curb Studios in Music Row.
Yeah.
And then cut the vocals at Mickey Jack Collins' home. And so yeah, it was all done here. But we, oh gosh, so lucked out on the players that we got. These guys are each musician is like a major producer right now in the business, you know? So, I mean, everyone from like Rob McNally to Derek Wells, Ilya Tashinsky, these guys all have #1 records that they're producing on the radio. And the coolest part is I've been friends with all of them for 15 years. Like I did my first demo session with Mickey. I went to Ilya's first little studio that he cut demos out of. So I've known these guys for so long. They're like brothers to me. So to get to share this project with them was really amazing.
But it seems like also with this EP, Annie, it seems like the past few years, it's like you said, it's like this is like your time. It's
I
like,
hope
you know,
so.
and certainly you've had success in the past.
Every year on my birthday, it's your year. We just know it. I can like trace back 8 years ago. It's your year.
But it seems like it's starting with last year.
It's really my year now.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel in January?
Yeah, January was wild. We did the Rose Parade, Jimmy Kimmel, I played the Troubadour. It's been like nonstop.
Well,
I've been home 3 days in like 40 days.
And I was going to bring up in December, you were out at the Las Vegas Rodeo.
Yeah, at the NFR, which was really fun.
That's not small.
I got to sing it. I got my first buckle, which was so cool.
Oh my gosh.
And it's, you know, it's the rodeo of all rodeos. I told them, I said, I bought nosebleeds to come here 12 years ago with my sister. I'm like, we're going, you know, and I have photos of it, and I scalped a ticket. And so now I remember saying, though, I want to sing it this one day. It was like I had that moment of, I'm going to do this one day.
It's such a vibe, though, because, you know, I was living out in Vegas for a number of years, and during that week, you see so many country, you know, cowboy hats and cowboy boots. It's like going, everybody's like, who's in town? It's like, well, it's the rodeo, obviously.
And there's a huge Western culture in Las Vegas and around. More so now than ever, I'm finding.
Definitely. It's big out there. But
yeah.
I mean, but obviously, you know, the EP is doing so well.
Thank you.
And I've got to bring up also that, you know, you play Taylor guitars, and you got a new one.
I did. Yeah, I know. They're good to me. I've been on the road, so you know, with that, you inevitably end up getting a couple dings in your guitar. So they sent me a new one, and it's been so much fun to play. It's like, oh my God.
And also, you know, you've got a good boot deal.
I do, with Ariat Boots, yeah. And we're excited that they're going to give me the billboard. They've been so awesome. They've been so supportive and great.
Two billboards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big deal. So the people are going to see you all over Nashville when they come. And then they're going to need a hat, probably.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Resistol. The best cowboy hat ever. I usually wear it when I play shows.
You've got it all.
You know, we have made a lot happen, but we got a long way to go. But it's people like you. It's every little thing that we're doing, every fan that I meet, every song that I write, every show. It's all these things start to add up, you know, and you really kind of have to sow the seeds. And I feel like we're doing that to set ourselves up for hopefully a long career, longevity, and to get to do this forever.
Yeah, I think it's just been incredible, particularly, you know, with the songs that we mentioned, you know, Neon Baby doing so well. I mean, when you go on Spotify or any, you know, streaming, it's like the listenership is huge.
Thank you.
And I think they need to go deeper with the EP and listen to more of these songs. You know, like I said, Boots On, Honky Tonk Highway. It's so nice to hear, you know, I'm not going to say traditional country, but
It's so nice to hear country music in country music.
but I think that you do such a nice job, you know, with a nod to your influences.
You know, I didn't shy away from it on this project. And maybe that has to do with becoming mature, is you stop caring about what people think, or you stop trying to chase a trend. And it's like, you know what, if no one likes it, whatever. If I love it, you know, why wouldn't I want to play on the influences that made me want to do this in the first place? And I feel like I think people miss that sound. I think people miss those songs. And it's great, you know, we need diversity, right? We need things that sound like everything, and that's what makes it interesting. And so for me, my heart felt called to do that.
But I think it shows in the music too. I mean, in the singles that you put out last year, and with this entire EP, you know, your heart's in the songs, your voice has never sounded better, and the instrumentation is just right. You know, it's not like, you know, where you've got, you know, the guitar player or the drummer doing the mix.
Yeah.
And it's like, going, wait a minute, where's Annie's voice? I can hear your voice.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, and that can happen a lot. Well, and that comes down to choosing the right musicians too. And everybody, they were so great. They collaborated with each other. They listened to each other. And
after being here for 17 years, you know a couple of them. Because no matter how big Nashville gets or is, it's still kind of a small town in a lot of ways.
It is, you know, and that's kind of like the fun part, I think, and the advantage for being here for so long is you have those relationships. And Nashville's such a relationship-oriented town. It's such a community, and you know, I've written so many songs, and now it's fun to go back and be like, well, we forgot about this one, you know, that I wrote 8 years ago that you know, will have a life now. And so it's exciting to have that archive and just those tools, you know, in your toolbox.
How does it hit you too, Annie, to where obviously when you hear artists like, you know, Jessica Simpson and Willie Nelson, you hear them, you know, on you know, your radio doing your songs, but now you hear your songs coming on, you know, through the streaming. I mean, how does that different for you?
I think it's all exciting, you know, but in different ways. And I'm so grateful for all the people that I've gotten to collaborate, work with. It's taught me so much, you know, and molded me into the artist that I am. And it's really helped me meet so many people too. And it's like, I never would have met these people had I not taken this gig. My mom always said, like, show up on time, say yes if you can do it. You know, don't say no, and show up on time. And so I think that that's just always stuck with me. And I think people say, well, how do you know this person? Well, how do you know this person? Well, I'm like, I don't know. I show up on time and I say yes. You know, it's like you end up meeting people, I think, when you work hard.
And when you love what you do.
Yeah, and that's a given. It's like if I'm singing backgrounds on a record, I love doing that. If I'm writing a song for someone else, I love doing that. If it's for me, I love it. My favorite thing in the world is probably singing a song that I wrote on stage in front of people, just because I love people. I love connecting with people when I'm performing. But I do love all aspects of it.
Well, and now you're center stage, so which is incredible. And also, you've got so many shows coming up this year. I know festivals, rodeos, and maybe some other big announcements. But I want to make sure for our viewers, Annie, where do they need to go for your website, social media, everything that you've got going on for this year and going forward?
www.anniebosko.com with a K, B-O-S-K-O. Everything's listed there, and Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I'm on all the things, so everything will be listed there.
And I'll tell you what, however you consume music, be sure, listen to the entire EP. It is Annie Bosko, as she mentioned. She's also got CDs, no vinyl, I recommended it. But anyway, you know, however you consume music, but go see Annie live. And you're going to love these songs as much as I do. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks so much for having me. This was so fun. Thanks so much.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.